I'm going to show you how to cancel ChatGPT and switch to Claude AI without starting from zero. This is a simple tutorial for absolute beginners who finally want to make the switch. And the good news is Claude has made it super easy to import your stuff from ChatGPT. And there are a couple different options, especially if you already have ChatGPT, GPTs, or projects. And we're going to walk through all of that today. By the way, my name's Sabrina Ramonov. I previously sold an AI company for millions of dollars, and now I teach millions of people AI for free. So hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. The absolute easiest option to migrate from ChatGPT to Claude AI is to use Anthropic's pre-built memory tool. Here's the website to go to, claude.com/import-memory, okay? And it's going to walk you through everything that you need to do. You do need a paid Anthropic Claude account in order to do this, okay? But go to this website. Once you have your paid account, click Get Started, and you're going to be taken to your Claude settings. And here's all you have to do. Copy this prompt into a chat, into ChatGPT. So click copy, and then let's open ChatGPT. Start a new conversation with ChatGPT and just paste the prompt here. This is all you have to do. Then go ahead and click enter. And what this does is it's going to go tell ChatGPT to export stored memories and context that it's learned from past conversations. And it's going to output different categories of instructions. It's going to put instructions here, which are explicit rules, your identity, your career, your projects that you've built or committed to, your preferences, and it's going to format everything really nicely for import into Claude. Here it is thinking, so you can see what's happening in real time. Okay, and when it's complete, all you need to do is click this copy button in the top right corner and then head over to Claude. And then in this box here, paste results below, just paste it here, okay? Then click add to memory. And now that's going to take the memory extracted from ChatGPT and import it into Claude so that Claude has your memory. One really important thing to note here is this does not include projects which have their own specific memory. So we're going to get through that in a bit. For example, how do you migrate your custom GPTs or projects from ChatGPT to Claude? Okay, and when it's done, it should look like this, and you can review it here, okay? You can click the edit button to tell Claude what to remember or what to forget. You can type here and then click enter. You can manage the edit, so if you want to manually edit this, you can. Click back to memory. And then once you're done, once everything looks good, go ahead and click see what Claude learned about you, okay? And now you're going to see exactly what Claude has imported from ChatGPT. And again, if there's anything you disagree with or you want to edit, it's very easy to go ahead and edit the memory. So let's just say you want to go and edit the memory. So you can do it here and tell it to add or remove things from the memory, or you can go back to settings. So on the bottom left corner here, click settings, okay? And then click, then click capabilities here, and this is where you're going to see the memory. This is memory from chats, and you can view and edit it just like we were at before. So you can do this at any time. It doesn't have to be just when you're importing from ChatGPT. You can manage your Claude memory at any time just by going to settings, then capabilities here. So that's option number one. And honestly, it's the easiest option if you're non-technical, if you're a beginner, if you're a lightweight user of ChatGPT anyway, you can honestly stop here. That's probably good enough for 95% of people watching this video. Option number two is what I call the biography prompt. So instead of that prompt from Claude, this one's going to prompt ChatGPT to write a complete biography based on everything it knows about you. And it's going to ask you clarifying questions about anything it's uncertain about that is important and should be included in your biography. So you can do this in conjunction with option number one. So we can do option number one first to extract those memories, and then we can go ahead and open a new chat and use this biography prompt as well. Okay, go ahead, copy paste that here. And when it's done, you're going to see this super detailed biography about you, and it's going to ask you all of these clarifying questions that ChatGPT thinks is pretty important and should be included and confirmed in your biography. Just like with the previous step, feel free here to edit things, to add clarification, whatever it is you want to be included as we migrate from ChatGPT to Anthropic. And then when you're done, just like before, you can copy and paste this either into Claude's memories or into a chat or into a project. So just like ChatGPT, Claude has projects, and it also has individual chats, and it also has that persistence memory, which is what we had imported earlier. So depending on where you want this context, if you want this context across all Anthropic conversations, then you might want to insert this into the memory. Okay, if you want it just in a specific project, go ahead and click projects, click new project, and let's just import our biography. Click create project, and then you can either type it here and it will kind of remember this context from the project, or you can specifically add it as an instruction or as a file. So here, okay. And when you have a lot of text you're copying in there, by the way, you can click files, click add text content, and just paste it in here. And I would label this biography so that it knows what it is. Okay, so now this context though will only be for this project. So again, if you want it accessible across all of your Claude conversations, you would go to settings where we previously were. If you want it just within a certain project, you drop it in here. If you want it just in a certain chat, then you would paste it over there. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is migrating your ChatGPT custom GPTs or projects. So let's head over to ChatGPT and let's go to one of our GPTs. So explore GPTs, click create. Now, when it comes to migrating a custom GPT over to Claude from ChatGPT, you have two options. You can either migrate it into a Claude project or you can migrate it as a Claude skill. So for example, let's go to one of the GPTs you've created, okay? And then click here at the top, go to edit GPT, go to configure. And basically what you're gonna do is just copy paste the instructions and any other knowledge you have, right? And copy paste that into Claude as a skill. So let's go ahead and take this, go back to Anthropic. Let's say we want to make it a skill instead of a project. Go here, go to customize in the left sidebar, and then click create new skill. And okay, click the plus button here, write skill, or you can upload a skill MD file, but we don't have that yet. So it will probably be easier to either create it with Claude or just write the skill instructions. Okay, so paste the instructions here, the same one from ChatGPT. So we're just going to basically copy paste all this. Description, boom. And the skill name, let's call this Hormozi $100 million advisor. Okay, go ahead and create that. Okay, so now this is your skill and you can use it in your conversations. And if you're brand new to skills, they're basically kind of like GPTs, but you can use them in any conversation. So for example, to check it out, click the three dots in the upper right corner, click try and chat, and you can just reference the name of the skill. AI will actually try to infer when it should use certain skills based on your prompt, but you can also be more explicit. You can say, hey, can you do something with this specific skill? So let's go ahead and try that. Okay, so you can see what Claude AI is thinking here. It's checking out the Hormozi skill. Just like ChatGPT, you can expand its thought process. And the prompt was very vague, but Claude AI interpreted it to build an interactive AI-powered business advisor app using Hormozi as a persona. But we're not going to go through with all that, but I want to show you another option. So instead of migrating your custom GPT as a Claude skill, you can also migrate it into a project. So we can open up the previous project we made, Biography, and just like we did with creating the skill, you can copy these instructions and paste them here. Okay, save instructions like this. Okay, might rename this project. So let's rename it to Hormozi Coaching. Okay, and the nice thing is you can include files and stuff. So go back to the custom GPT. Let's say you did upload a bunch of knowledge here. Just click on each file and it will trigger the download. Okay, then go back to Claude and then upload the file. Upload from device. And here's the PDF for my Hormozi coach. Okay, and you can see we've used 5% of project capacity so far, and it's in the process of indexing all of this text. And if you want to try out the project so far, all you have to do is type here to kick off a conversation in the project, just like ChatGPT projects. Let's say, what is Hormozi's top advice for building a personal brand for business owners? So now if you go back to the project, click here, click Hormozi Coaching, you'll see the conversation that we just started. And again, this functions just like ChatGPT projects here. Okay, so you can see the conversation happening here, and it's going to pull from that additional context that we add. Now, the next thing you might want to migrate are ChatGPT projects, and those can map directly to Claude projects using the same exact process we just talked through. So being able to take your files from your project and then upload them into Claude project. And just like when we asked ChatGPT to write a biography and then imported it into Claude memory, you can do a miniature version of that with each ChatGPT project. You can actually type in the chat, like summarize everything important about this project. So it's going to look through all of these chats from the project, summarize it, and then you can go ahead and import it into your project in Claude, right? So you can either add it as a file here, add text content, upload from device, or you can add it in the instructions here. Similarly for files, so if you uploaded a bunch of sources and files for your ChatGPT project, just download them from ChatGPT and then go ahead and upload those files here in your Claude project. Okay, so we've covered now 3 different ways to migrate your ChatGPT data over to Claude, and you can do all 3 of them. So choose whatever makes the most sense for you. If you don't have GPTs or projects yet, then you can skip number 3 altogether. Now, number 4 is exporting all of your data from ChatGPT. I'm going to show you how to do this, even though I don't necessarily recommend it. I think it's good to have your data from ChatGPT so you have it as stored and so you have it always with you permanently, but I don't think you should import all of it into Claude. I don't think you get the best results that way. I honestly would encourage you to use this as an opportunity to think about what is the most important context and signal that you want to bring over to Claude, so that you can start off with a really, really strong amount of context that it has on the things that are actually relevant to you. Because if you're like me, you use ChatGPT for like all kinds of random conversations, and I don't necessarily need to import all of that into Claude. And in fact, it might confuse Claude if it does. But I'll show you how to do this anyway, because it's probably a good idea to export all of your data anyway, so you have it as a reference. Okay, so go to ChatGPT. Go ahead, go to settings in the bottom left corner. Okay, go to data controls. Here where it says export data, you just want to click the export button. You're going to see it pop up like this. Request data export. Are you sure? Your details and chats will be included. It will be sent to your registered email, downloading, blah, blah, blah. This is actually going to take a while, especially if you have lots of chats. So go ahead and click confirm export. Like I said, it's going to take a while. And when it's done, you're going to get a zip file. Open the zip file, and there's going to be a file called chat.html. And then what you can do is, just like before, you can upload that file here into the project, so Claude has all of your context. If you're using Claude Cowork or Claude Code, by the way, you can just point it to the folder on your local computer and have it interact and analyze everything that was exported, and then create another summary biography of everything important from your data export. And then you can take that new synthesis and upload it here into your project or upload it into your memory. So just to recap, we covered a couple different things you can do. This is the easiest and probably will be just fine for 95% of people, right? Go to claude.com/import-memory. You do need a paid Claude account to do this. The biography prompt that I showed you over here. Okay. Number 3, importing your GPTs or projects into Claude skills or projects, just depending on how you want to use them. And then exporting all of your data from ChatGPT, which is probably a good idea anyway. However, I don't recommend just like trying to cram all of that data into Claude, because you probably have a lot of random conversations that are not useful for Claude. But if you really want to import all of the conversations with ChatGPT, look for the file chat.html, and then you can attach it as another context file here within your project, just like we did before. And then once you're done with that, the final last step is to actually just cancel ChatGPT. And okay, so go to ChatGPT, go to settings here, go to accounts, blah, blah, blah. And then here where it says your plan, ChatGPT Plus, click manage and click cancel subscription. And you're going to get a pop-up because ChatGPT definitely wants you to stay. So by the way, this is a great tip if you want to get 1 free month, right? But yeah, if you go ahead and cancel ChatGPT, just click this red button, cancel subscription, and you're all set. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next tutorial.